Day one Christmas Advent. Look at those! Those are so cool. Good morning. This is Vlogmas day one. I've decided to do Vlogmas. Hopefully I can commit to it. And we're doing day one of the Christmas Advent that Grandma Jay created. Want some coffee, babe? Okay, thank you.
You'll level up. Is that a harder level?
It's cold!
Midgrade jumps up so much.
We're very excited about these gas prices.
It's kind of weird here, but that unleaded is $2.99.
The lights are glowing in the hallway and in my dreams. Somewhere in
Do you want to do yoga?
heart it's snowing.
Do you want to do your stretches?
I still believe.
Downward doggy pup. What are you doing, Mama? You want to come in? You want to come inside? Come on. Come on. There she is. He's doing the things.
I was like, I was trying to look at you through that.
Oh, you could see?
Yeah. I was like, I think she's filming me.
So what is this video?
I guess we go to the back end.
Oh yes, this was
The
good.
lettuce wraps with it's like a curry turkey.
Oh yeah,
Curry turkey lettuce wraps.
those were so good.
And applesauce. Yeah, leftover baby.
Hey, so I'm getting ready to run to Aldi to pick up a few things for dinner, but I wanted to share something with you real quick before I go. So we've been here since the end of August, and initially we weren't 100% sure where we were going to end up, although Nashville was always on the table because, like I shared in my moving video, there was just a lot of reasons that this would be a good spot for us. But once we got here and I knew everything was settled with my family, everything was settled with the house, and the kids were in a good school and they were starting to get settled and comfortable, and we had family come out and visit, and just kind of started to feel in my soul, timing wise, I could start putting feelers out for gigs out here. I knew I wanted to do it as soon as I could. And I reached out to a band called Nashville Cover Band on Instagram. And I was like, hey, I just moved out here. I would love to sit in with you or fill in if you ever need a singer. And I didn't expect to hear back, but they messaged me back pretty quickly and they're like, yeah, come sit in with us next Monday. So I go in and I sing a few songs, and you know, it was okay. I took my in-ears, and it was like a very different type of venue that I've ever done. I usually don't do venues that use in-ears, although I have them. I've only ever used them like once for like a bigger stadium thing I did, but besides that, I've never used them. I've just been playing like local country bars around California and pubs and things like that. So it was very new. The whole thing was new, and I was kind of getting adjusted. And it was fine, but to be honest, I was really thankful for the experience, but I didn't expect anything out of it. I was like, I'm probably gonna have to do this a few more times to find a band that, you know, I vibe with. But they were so nice and gracious and sweet. I was mostly just insecure. And so I went home and I just kind of didn't really think anything of it. But then they called me and were like, hey, we'd love to have you fill in for a gig in 2 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, let's do this. And it was at the W Hotel, and it ended up being me, and then it was a trio. So a keyboard player, me, and a bass player. And I sang for like 4 hours, and the gig like paid really well. It paid more than the gigs I was getting in California. So I was just so stoked, beyond stoked, and just thankful. And then they asked me for another gig at the Hyatt. So I did that one, and that one paid great too. And the interesting thing about out here that I didn't really understand until I got out here was just, it's like being in a time warp. And I imagine it's what California was when my parents moved out there, because live music is everywhere out here and people love it in every genre, and they tip, and there's live music at all of these different places, and people appreciate it, and they appreciate songwriters, and they appreciate artists out here in a way that I never saw really in California. So after I filled in for a few gigs, I chatted with the guitar player and he suggested that I put my own band together. And I was like, okay, that's a great idea, you know? Once again, a little intimidating, but I contacted the bass player. He's like, I know a few guys that are really interested. Let's put something together. And I got on a roster out here to start picking up shifts and taking on more gigs. I definitely know that I'm moving in the right direction, and I have an incredibly supportive spouse, which I'm so thankful for. He's always encouraged me to be in a band and continue to put in those 10,000 hours and hone the skills, which I've done in other areas of my career, but I never really had that chance with music. I've done recordings, I've done a lot of different things, but I just kind of started to scratch the surface of what it means to be in a band and perform live. And I went back to school before we moved out here, and I was starting to book more gigs out in California. So I didn't know what to expect out here, to be honest. And I know how saturated it is and how much talent there is out here. And I didn't know what to expect. So the cool thing is that I can choose shifts that will work for me and my schedule. I mean, there's some that are like 10 to 2, and I definitely don't want to be doing those. It's a more of a rowdy crowd. And there's a really big variety of gigs. Like I was doing the hotel ones, which are a little bit more chill. And then there's also, like, our band is going to be a little bit more 70s rock, country rock, bluesy. I like the Bonnie Raitt, Linda Ronstadt type of vibe for cover bands. I mean, we sing everything, but just that kind of energy. So a 2 to 6 slot is probably going to be where we start. And the gigs out here pay great. So that's exciting too, because it just gives me an opportunity to kind of pivot a little bit and move into a new era. Yep, do it and then get back up and do it again, and then get back up and do it again, and then get back up and do it again, with the goal of working with your team, your band, to create the best possible music possible. And entertain takes a lot of energy and excitement to do this and to commit to it. So I feel really, really blessed and lucky and thankful. I think it just means that this is a new and exciting part of the journey, and I couldn't be more excited, to be honest. So I'm pretty much beaming, and I'm learning a lot of new songs. Holy smokes. I have them all on my Spotify playlist. I have like over 100 songs I have to learn. I know most of them, it's just memorizing the lyrics is gonna be a little tricky. All the stuff that I love will be here. We're gonna start a garden in the spring. None of that stuff's gonna go away. Like music, nature, simple living, family, it's all there.
Good girl. You want a treat? She's been so good about coming in every single night. I haven't had any issues out here in Tennessee with her. My bird seeds are in here. I gotta put out some more bird seeds because they eat them all in like one day. Crazy. You want a treat? Little mama. Here.
All right, so we'll get plenty of birds in the morning. It's just sunset right now.
Happy Christmas, oh my